Hello, friends and family. It is indeed JD, the quarterback of the mic, getting back in touch with all of you, my favorite people in the world, my viewers. And I'm gonna try to do an homage to a Canadian whose YouTube talks about being an unplugged alpha, and then of course that's Rich Cooper. And I'm not driving a McLaren as he might be driving. I'm just driving on a regular United States road as he normally is in Canada. And what's on the top of my mind? Well, what's on the top of my mind is I don't know if friend's too strong a word, but another fellow YouTuber who's undergoing some controversy right now in the Philippines, and that would be at regular_guy PNG. That's the regular guy, who PNG stands for Persona Non Grata, which in CDO, I believe the city council, Persona Non Grata, although it's not 100% clear what that's for, as we know that sometimes things can be a little bit nebulous when governments and red tape get involved. Speaking of red tape, I guess I do have a red shirt on. Going back to a few years ago, there was another YouTuber out of Florida who is no longer creating content, but he said that regular guy should probably beware and look at what he's doing. And is this a question of the chickens coming home to roost? Or is it all about some nitwit content creator out in Belgium pushing people to think a certain way and then to come out with this declaration of persona non grata? Actually, doesn't it run off the tongue, persona non grata? Anyway, the bottom line for me is that I think although our friend Scotty Boy, Scoot as they referred to him before they edited his name to the proper spelling, Scott, I think, is a pretty nice, and I think he's worth listening to, especially if you like to travel and if you enjoy stories about Asia, specifically the Philippines. And I think what happened is he's not an unintelligent person, and he's made a decision, this is Scott now, that after, although being persona non grata in CDO, Cagayan de Oro, doesn't necessarily mean he'll be deported. It could be part of a process where that might happen, and as he stated on his own, this might affect the possibility of him renewing his visa in the Philippines. And he has said that he's going to get out of Dodge and make his way to Angeles to sell his bike, and then go to other countries in Southeast Asia, which was his plan all along. He was planning on doing that before he went to visit his mother and father in Canada a few months back. So, with a little assist from what he thought was his future long-term girlfriend. But that didn't work out, and some people also criticized him for criticizing her, that relationship didn't work out, that she cheated on him and someone did point out, I don't remember who to give the credit to, the fact that it could be karma coming back to Scott, because he did the same thing with another girl, where her boyfriend was in another country and he was sending her money, and Scott took advantage of the situation, so to speak, and had relations with that girl, with the boyfriend overseas. So I believe the phrase is turnabout is fair play. Who knows if Scott's now ex-girlfriend in Dumageddon was aware of all that, but he had to make a decision, or actually he let her make a decision, and then she made the decision and then tried to come back, which actually is well, first of all, certain people do appreciate the attention, and she, I'm sure, enjoyed Scotty's attention and attention from the other guy, and some people want to extend that attention as long as they can. But Scott was finally smart enough to tell her no dice after she chose the other guy and then came back to him, which is good for him, but it's hard to pick somebody when you're not with them all the time, and this is part of a larger discussion that I do want to have about long-term relationships. Long-distance relationships. But with all that being said, I am behind Scott living his best life, going out there and saying what he wants, and if the consequences are they don't want him in the Philippines anymore, may he be happy somewhere else. My hope for him, though, is that this is a one-off, and if I was personally him, this is my advice. Scott did not ask me for this advice, but my advice to Scott would be talk to your lawyer and try to get the PNG taken away. I know that you said it's a badge of honor, but I think long-term that you would want to go back to the Philippines. So if your way to get the shekels up to fight the PNG and get it taken off your record, I think long-term you will be better off for it. I think people love the content that you've created in the Philippines, and we look forward to your future travels in Southeast Asia. But I think that you will be better off in the long run for fighting this, because I think it's undeserved. And that's my opinion. I'm not a Filipino. I don't live in CDO. I'm not even, CDO adjacent, although I do have a tenuous connection to someone who's a native of that area. But really, Scott, we wish you the best. We want you to be happy, and we want you to continue creating content, because that is how you are making your living. And as a fellow YouTube content creator, I want you to be as successful as you want to be. So just realize that we are behind you, or at least some of us are behind you, and we want you to live your best life. So just a little piece of advice from JD. I know I'm speaking of myself in the third person, kind of like yourself, Scott, when you are ordering coffee or food and you say it's Scotty Boy. But in reality, it's all about being the best you that you can be. And as Dr. Wayne Dyer used to like to say, it's not about being better than anyone else. It's about being better than you used to be. So with that, Scott, all the best. We're going to continue to look forward to seeing you in Angeles City, wherever you do your live streams and your future content. And who knows, down the road, we may be seeing each other in CDO for all we know. JD, the quarterback of the mic, saluting each and every one of you, and especially on today, Scott, the regular guy. God bless you all. Have fun, but get it done.